Hello folks, DJ here once again. Gonna make a quick video about what's going on in Palestine and what I think of the subject and what I think every decent human being thinks of the subject. Now, for the life of me, I can't understand how any decent human being could support Israel and honestly not care about what's happening to the Palestinians in such a way, whereas they cry for every Israeli that's killed, but the hundreds of Palestinians mean absolutely nothing to these hypocrites. Okay, the number of Palestinians killed compared to Israelis is sometimes 50 to 1. It's been 100 to 1 in the past. And you don't have to be a Muslim to care about Palestine. I'm not a Muslim. You just have to be a empathetic person, a decent person, and a normal person. All right? Israel is a criminal state. Okay? A criminal gangster state that really never goes to war with anybody who can actually defend themselves. All right? Proof of this is Iran. Proof of this is Iraq in the past. Whenever Israel has gone to war with people who can actually defend themselves, they've lost and they've run home with their tails between their legs, just like what happened between Israel and Hezbollah, which is not a huge army. It's just a group of men who know how to fight and who actually beat them. You see, Israel can bomb civilians who have no defense, all right, back into the Stone Age. And that's what they like to do because, in fact, the Israeli IDF are a bunch of cowards, are a bunch of criminals, okay? And if any other country on this planet did what Israel has been doing, they would not only be sanctioned by the group of morons we call the United Nations, okay, but if it was any other country and they had oil, America would have invaded them decades ago for freedom and put in a puppet government so they could steal their oil. Where am I getting at with this? Israel is a terrorist, criminal state, okay, that has no right in its current form to exist. Now, am I the type of guy who says, oh, there must be a two-state solution? No. There must be a one-state solution with Jews, Palestinians, Muslims, and Christians, where they can vote for one government to represent them all. And guess what? I'm pretty sure the majority Muslims in Palestine would not be doing what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians to the Israelis if they had the power. Now, Ben Shapiro will tell you otherwise, but it's not true. They would not be doing what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians if they had the power. Don't fall for the propaganda. Arabs are not savages like they try and promote in the media. They weren't responsible for 9/11. Okay? 9/11 was an inside job with criminal elements of the American government in tandem with Israelis. Okay, we all know about the dancing Israelis. They were the ones who did 9/11. Okay, it was done as basically a way to get the world against Arabs. Okay, get the world to hate Arabs. So the United States of Zog had an excuse to invade Iraq, which had nothing to do with 9/11, and to take over Afghanistan, which I believe was primarily to take control of the opium supplies. Forget about all the other things they have in Afghanistan, like I forgot the name of the product that creates all the computers, or that's in the chips of all the computers. But that's one reason. Look, they don't do this for one reason alone. But you can bet your ass one of the major reasons was to take over and control the opium in Afghanistan. As you see, after the Afghanistan war, the US and other nations have been flooded with heroin. Okay, there's an opioid epidemic in America. There's an opioidemic in Australia as well. These aren't good people, folks. These are criminals. Okay, so let's get off this Muslim hatred, this Arab hatred, because they're not behind it. Okay, there is being a big war set up between the Zionist West and Islam, and I'm not going along with it. I'm going to speak out the truth as much as I can. Who would I recommend you listen to? Ken O'Keefe? I don't recommend George Galloway. He is controlled opposition. All right, I guarantee it. Even though he has an eloquent tongue and a golden tongue, he can't be trusted. Okay, he basically goes along with the mainstream narrative that 6 million you-know-whats were exterminated by the National Socialist Germans, which I don't believe for a second. Okay, I don't believe it for a second. It's just to garner sympathy for the criminal state of Israel, so they can have carte blanche to kill whoever they want. And if you fight back against that verbally, they'll call you an anti-Semite. They say, don't you care about the victims of Auschwitz? Don't you care about the gas chambers? It's all a psychological trick, folks. These people have studied psychology to levels that we don't even comprehend. They know how to get people to shut their mouths. Can you believe for the past 50 years, at least, anyone who criticizes Israeli barbaric war crimes is called an anti-Semite? How can that work? But it does. It does work, folks. And that just shows you the mind control. So we have to break through the mind control. We have to break through being worried about being called anti-Semitic when in fact the Khazars are not Semites at all, where the Palestinians are. So it's a word on language as well that they've taken over. And we have to be free of this complete domination of language, this complete and utter savagery that's being done to the Palestinians. Okay, and like I said, you don't have to be an Arab, you don't have to be a Muslim. Look, I'm not an Arab, I'm not a Muslim, okay? But I support them because it's the right thing to do. Okay? God bless you all. Over and out.